Hello, I'm James Harrison, CEO of Crossroads Deliverance Ministries and Counseling LLC. And here is a copy of my informed consent for Christian counseling and coaching services. General information. The therapeutic relationship is unique in that it is a highly personal and at the same time contractual agreement. Now, given this, it is important for each of us to have a clear understanding about how our professional relationship will work and what each of us can expect. This consent will provide a clear framework for our work together. You are welcome to discuss any aspects of this informed consent with me. Please read and indicate that you have reviewed this information and agree to it by filling in the checkbox at the end of the document. The therapeutic process. You have taken a very positive step by deciding to seek Christian counseling. The outcome of your treatment depends largely on your willingness to engage in this process, which may at times result in considerable discomfort. Remembering unpleasant events and becoming aware of feelings attached to those events can bring on strong feelings of anger, depression, anxiety, and any of the alike. We utilize the theological principles that are based on the Word of God and those psychological principles that align itself with the Bible. Now, I cannot promise that your behavior or your circumstances will automatically or immediately change. But I can promise to support you and do my very best to understand your unique situation, as well as help you clarify what it is that you want for yourself. The length of your treatment as it relates to days, weeks, months, or years depends solely on your progress, your willingness to engage in home assignments, and other recommended tasks. As a Christian counseling practice, we will periodically refer to biblical references and use various types of prayers to aid in our sessions. But please be informed that these will only be at the discretion of you, the client, and as me, the therapist. Confidentiality. The session content and all relevant materials to the client's treatment will be held in the strictest of confidentiality, unless the client requests in writing to have all or portions of such content released to specifically named persons or a person. Please be informed that there are limitations and exceptions to confidentiality. And those limitations and exceptions are as follows. If a client threatens or attempts to die by suicide, or otherwise conducts himself or herself in a manner in which there is a substantial risk of incurring serious bodily harm, there may be and possibly will be a breach of this confidentiality. If a client threatens grave bodily harm or death to another individual, if the therapist has a reasonable suspicion that a client or other named victims or persons that are the perpetrator, the observer, or actual partaker in some way, shape, or form of physical, emotional, or sexual abuse of children under the age of 18. If there are suspicions as stated in any of the above cases against an elderly or vulnerable adult person, who may be subject to such abuses. Suspected neglect of the parties named in items 3 and 4, or if a court of law issues a legitimate subpoena for information stated on the subpoena. Number 7, if a client is in Christian counseling or being served by order of a court of law, or if information is obtained for the purpose of rendering an expert's report or opinion to an attorney, there may be possibilities of breach of confidentiality. Please be aware that I will do everything within my power to withhold all information shared with me within the confinements of a therapeutic and professional setting. Please be informed that occasionally I may need to consult with other professionals who have expertise in certain areas. The reason that I may consult with other professionals who have expertise in certain areas is so that I can get some ideas on how I can best serve you as a client. Please be aware, however, in my consultation with other professionals, I will not disclose any identifiable information or specific information that will lead back to you as a person, or your address, or your diagnosis, or your age, or your gender, any of those things that could be specifically traced back to you. I will do my very best to hold everything that you share in confidentiality. If you and I see each other in public, let's say at the mall or outside in a store, please be aware that I will not acknowledge you first. However, if you acknowledge me, I will be happy to acknowledge you and speak to you briefly, because I believe your confidentiality and your privacy is of the utmost respect. About the counselor, I, James Harrison, am an ordained minister. I am a master's level licensed clinical pastoral counselor. I am a certified mental health coach. I am an emerging Master of Social Work, individual and family clinical student, and I am a certified trauma professional. By clicking on the checkbox below, you confirm that you have read, understood, and agreed to the terms contained in this informed consent document. Thank you. I wish you the very best, and I look forward to our professional working relationship.